What's up, everybody? Once again, welcome to the POPAHOLICS podcast. I am one of your hosts here, Franklyn FM McInnis, and then I have my co-host here with me, Collecting Plastic.
Hey, what's up, nerds?
All right, so we have been going over the Funkoween reveals, and we are now down to the day 4 and day 5 reveals. So this is pretty much it for Funkoween at this point, and it has been a very busy week so far. There has been a lot that has been revealed. Now, I do want to go ahead and say within this, podcast here, we will be covering some things that were addressed earlier, but it's because Funko did the official reveals on them, so that's why we wanted to come back to certain things. Kicking things off here with Mandy. So, what do you think about now that we see the official images of Mandy? What are your thoughts?
Honestly, man, I'm really liking them, and I have a whole night plan. I'm gonna make myself some chicken parmesan all from scratch. Get a little bit of wine, and I'm gonna sit down and watch Mandy on your recommendation and a couple of other people's opinions who I really respect. So I went ahead and pre-ordered these, the Chase bundle, because I didn't want to watch the movie, really like it, crazy Nicolas Cage, and then be out of luck if it sells out and then have to pay a little too much. So I ended up getting all 4 of these for around $80, which I don't think it's too bad, $20 a pop. So yeah, I'm really liking them.
Yeah, and I'm going to make that recommendation again. If you've not checked out Mandy and you are a fan of whether you're a horror fan or like a Quentin Tarantino fan, whatever, if you watch the trailer and it appeals to you, go ahead and check out the actual movie. I really feel like the following for this movie is going to build up some. Maybe it will actually end up being a cult classic eventually. And what they've done with the figures, I think, is pretty clever. I mean, it's a combination of what's very true to the movie, but then they have those red ones that are very stylistic, and I like the way that they did those.
I mean, I really love the details on her too, like the ripped pants, the shoes. Is that a cigarette in her hand?
It's actually tough to tell with the image, but it might be. That's what it looks like a lit cigarette.
Yeah, and it looks like she's wearing a graphic tee and a little scar. There's like a lot of nice little details in there that I didn't notice at first on the live stream. And then the Nick Cage character too, like the comment is pretty amazing.
Yeah, which we talked about this previously actually about like the thoughtful but blood splattering, and he's a great example of that. Like the placement of the blood droplets is very mindful, I think, to the movie. And when you watch the movie, dude, we got to talk about it afterwards. I'm telling you, there's so much more that they can do based on this movie. I think they should at least do a second wave if these do decent enough. And there's one that's not here though, the Cheddar Goblin, which I don't know when he's going to get released or not. But if you've seen the movie, you know the reference to the Cheddar Goblin, and I'm going to be interested to see what that figure looks like when we get a better image of it.
Yeah, so I accidentally kind of figured out what it is. Not really. I just know that it's it's kind of like an ad icon within the movie. And that's all I kind of know about it, and that really piqued my interest as well. But I guess we don't know where that one's going to be released or if it's even going to be a comment yet.
Yeah, and you know what? Even the Cheddar Goblin thing kind of reminds me again of Quentin Tarantino, how he has his own like product placement of things, like his made up product placements within his movies, like the what is it, the Red Apple cigarettes or whatever they're called.
Yeah, I think it's Red Apple cigarettes.
Yeah. So I like that type of thing. So yeah, Mandy to me, like I think it's pretty cool. And I did the same thing. I ended up going ahead and getting the Chase bundle because I'm like, why not? Because I already had pre-ordered the Legion exclusive red, and that's Nicolas Cage's character, by the way. And then I know I wanted his comments, so I was like, at that point, let me just go ahead and get these all together. And right. I will be getting the Cheddar Goblin whenever it does release. So something else we covered previously, so we're going to be kind of quick with this here, is the Marvel figures that are on the way. What are your thoughts about these here? Again, just real quick.
So Red Hulk, Thor, kind of indifferent, don't really care about them. That Jack-o'-lantern character, though, that sculpt looks pretty amazing. I really like that. I'm very curious to see that in person. I'm not going to get it because I'm not really collecting this line, but I think that sculpt is pretty amazing. And last time we talked about this, I couldn't put my finger on what this I'm almost calling him Koopa. This Kingpin is reminding me of, but it reminds me of the characters from that Super Mario Brothers movie with the wrestler as Mario, I forget his name, and John Leguizamo as Luigi, that really crappy movie. It reminds me of the bad guys in that, the nose and the shape of the head.
Yeah, the Goombas. Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. But I will say this. I think with the official image, it looks a little bit better than I initially thought it looked, but it's still a very awkward choice by Funko to do this Venomized Kingpin. And yeah, the nose is really awkward when you really take a good look at it. It's just yeah, it's an odd choice by Funko. But the Jack-o'-lantern though, remember I said I was trying to get a better idea of what is going on with that figure. Like, why is he kind of lifted up? But now I see he's actually riding his pitchfork, which is pretty cool, you know. So, yeah, I think I will go for that one. But the other ones here, even and again, you kind of influenced my feeling about the Red Hulk figure. I can't do anything now but just look at that yellow mouth, and I'm like, that's awkward. So it kind of made me lose interest in that figure.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I mean, unless that's how it is in the comic. Like, I know I mentioned on one of our videos, I didn't like the yellow mouth on the Maleficent dragon, but I guess that's accurate, right? I just couldn't remember. And in the cartoon, it looks really good. I just don't like it on the pop. But on this Hulk here, to me, it just doesn't make any sense why they did that.
Yeah, so yeah, that's gonna end up being a pass for me because I feel like I need to be a little bit more choosy about what I get, you know, especially in terms of space, and which I am trying to let go of some figures that I feel like don't really fit my collection anymore, but still, you know, I want to be mindful of space moving forward, what I add into my collection. So yeah, I'm not gonna go for any of these unless I'm really into them. And like I said, out of these, the Jack-o'-lantern is really the only one that I'm gonna go for.
Now, do you think they slapped they made it a Funko Shop exclusive, the Venom? Because that might not be too popular if it wasn't.
Oh, with the Kingpin, you mean?
Yeah, the Kingpin. What did I call him?
Yeah, you called him Venom, but he
Okay,
is
yeah.
part of the Venom series. But yeah, I think you might be right about that. I think that's to maybe help push that figure some because if that was just a common, I don't know if people would go out of their way for that. Even people that are big fans of the Venom series like me, that's just not a great one, to be honest.
Get that speculation dollar.
Pretty much. So this was big here. I mean, we well, at least I know I shared it previously that a new Ash Pop was on the way, and they did do a Bloody Chase variant there. And then of course we see, you know, this something else people have been waiting on for here. They Live. So what are your thoughts about these?
So I think these look amazing. I love the colors on the alien. I think the chase is a good idea. Makes sense. The Roddy Piper character, I think looks good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to pick these up. Ash, I really like this new Ash. But I gotta have the chase, man. I can't have it sanitized. Like to me, it reminds me of the Hannibal Lecter that they made a bloody one and a non-bloody one. It's just like you gotta have bloody Ash. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to be getting that chase for sure.
Yeah, there's certain characters you're so used to seeing them kind of beat up and everything that that's the version you have to go with. It's sort of like the John McClane factor. Like nobody wants to, you know, clean looking John McClane
Yeah,
because he gets
exactly.
beat up in every movie. So that's what you expect to see. So, and you know, the coolest detail to me with the alien, I like the coloring of the alien, but also I love that with the chase, you see the changes with the newspaper. They got the
Yes.
obey on there. That is so cool.
And it looks like, yeah, it's black and white, but it looks like the eyes are gonna do them maybe in a silvery metallic, which I think is gonna look really nice.
Yeah, they did that with the Vision, you know, based off of WandaVision, the black and white figure, and it looks really good. Like they've gotten really good about that type of detail.
And this is
Now,
one of the times where the pupils, adding them into the figure, was a great choice.
yeah, because they're stylized and you know they fit the movie, so yeah, great detail in there. Some people did point out in the chat, not well in the comments that I saw, when I did a post about this, but yeah, they're like, you know, where's Keith Davis' character, which would be cool to see. In fact, I would love if they did eventually like a two-pack of him and Roddy Piper's character, you know, because they had that very infamous fight scene in the movie, which was
Yeah.
like one of the most oddly realistic fights like ever on film. Yeah, so if they did those as a two pack, at least I think that would be pretty cool with them. The two of them beat up some.
They might. I mean, this one's a common, so they might let people buy this one first, then put that one out later.
Yeah, and the reason I say a two pack also is because um I like Keith David and I like his character in that movie, but it could end up potentially being a very plain looking pop.
Yeah.
But if you put the two of them together, and like I said, if they beat up some, then I think it hits more so on the movie reference, basically. Now, I'm definitely curious to hear your thoughts on they're calling them disguises, I guess. But it's essentially the mask. Yeah, I really been curious to see what your reaction would be to these.
Man, when I first saw them, I thought it was like a joke. Like, but then I was like, okay, this is Funko's official Twitter here, and it was not this image, but it was actual three people wearing them, and I was like, man, this is a straight up nightmare. Like, it's so creepy to me. Like, I think it's the blank look on the face, and then Batman's like angry, the blue one. I was like, dude, this is a straight up nightmare to me. What do you think?
The blue one to me actually looks sad, and I had the same reaction when I first saw them. I was like, is this like some like homemade mask? And then when I realized it was official, it was one of those moments. And I hate to be like this because I say all the time, whatever product it is, if it's not for me, it's for somebody. But I still just had to think to myself, like, why? Like, this is just so weird. Because the more I think about it, I'm like, even if somebody likes the idea of dressing up like a pop, it's like these are just masks. So like you still gotta kind of piece together more of a costume to fit this or whatever. It's just, I don't know. It's a really weird idea to me.
Yeah, so to me, it definitely doesn't work as like a traditional mask. Like, if you're gonna dress up like Harley Quinn, well, just paint your face white and just get a black mask and a jester hat. Because this pop head isn't gonna go with your outfit. Like, to
Yeah,
me, this is like, if I were gonna use one of these masks for Halloween, I would, get one, like, the Batman one or something, and a fake gun and a big money bag, and dress up as a bank robber. That's what I would dress up as, like, or use it as like a Purge cosplay. Especially the Pennywise one looks like something out of the Purge, and it's freaking terrifying.
yeah. And I saw on social media some people making references to the Purge with these masks already. It's just, yeah, they're really weird. It's going to be interesting to see if these are popular like at all because like yeah, like you said, I mean, the rest of your outfit is really not going to fit with these masks necessarily. I mean, it may be different if they did like which I guess that would be way too cumbersome though if they did like a full almost helmet style mask where it's just you put it over your head, but that probably wouldn't even work properly trying to match up your eyes and everything. So yeah, it's just it's an unusual idea. I definitely want to hear from people that are checking this out. What do you think about these masks? And if you had a reaction like me to where I just had to stare for a couple of seconds and try to process even what I was looking at.
I mean, it looks like a an April Fool's joke, to be honest.
Yeah, it does look like something that somebody may have mocked up. And who knows, this might be one of those things that just comes and goes very quickly because there have been other Funko products that came and went very quickly. Like I remember this made me think about the like when they did the Christmas tree lights, which were basically just pop heads, and that did not stick around long at all. So I kind of wonder if this is going to be that same type of thing.
Another thing that's kind of weird is I don't know if it's just for these glams, but the way you can see the eyes through the middle, I don't know if they're just trying to like show you that look, you can kind of see through it, but in person it's pretty solid. But if you can see like if you can see through the middle part, especially like on the Nightmare Before Christmas ones, it looks terrible. That looks really bad to me.
It looks creepy. It's like it looks like somebody peeking through the blind, like when somebody peeks through the blinds of a window and you see them. It's just yeah, it's weird. It's
But maybe
really
that's what they're
weird.
going for. Maybe if they're going full on creepy, this is great because they look creepy to me. Like they really do. Like, so if that's what they're going for and they're trying to go for scary, they are. These masks to me are scarier than masks that are meant to be scary. Because this looks like somebody that's psychotic would wear this.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like it's really weird, but yeah, like I said, I'm really looking forward to reading the comments on these.
Although, I'm talking all this, but if they put out like an actual bank robber Joker version of a mask like this, I would get that.
Yeah, I don't know. I still feel like if they did a mask that covered your whole head in some way and tried to give it the pop look, it may work better. But again, like I said, it could be cumbersome. Who knows? And maybe they felt like this was the best way to go about it. But yeah, it's really weird.
I also feel like people might try to hang these up on their walls or in their collection rooms, kind of in the same way people will hang up like a Venetian mask. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. For decoration, maybe it would be different, and I guess it would depend too on the eye slot or whatever that is they got going on there, like how that looks when you display it in that way as well, whether or not people think it's worth it.
Yeah, that is it's strange, but I mean I imagine you can get like a black piece of paper or something, put it behind it if you did want to display if it's like straight up see through. Um,
Oh,
but yeah,
well,
I'm
you know what
curious to see
too?
these.
Yeah, what I just thought about is maybe when you I don't know if this is how it's designed or not, but maybe when you buy the mask initially, maybe that eye slot is actually covered already. You know what I'm saying? And you can
Maybe.
take that off. If it was like that, then yeah, that these would be good to display then, and that actually could work.
I mean, because
But
they look like it's not like they don't look like the pop heads, you know, like the Batman one looks like a straight up pop head. So if you wanted to put that on your wall, it's almost like a 3D kind of a deal, you know?
yeah, 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 that's a good point. And that way, I think they would display well. Yeah, like I said, as long as the eye slot is not an issue, then they would display well. But I couldn't imagine wearing one though,
I mean, but
personally.
how awesome would these look like in a like a nice big high production movie? And it's you know kind of like Point Break instead of the dead presidents, it's you know Batman, Harley Quinn, and Sally and Pennywise robbing a bank. It would be cool.
It would be funny, especially because Pops at large can be so polarizing. So that actually would be interesting, so get some interesting reactions, basically.
Yeah, totally.
All right, then I tried to basically put some of the video game stuff here together. Have you ever played any of the Witcher games, or did you actually play Witcher Wild Hunt?
No, I have not, dude. Like The Witcher seems like one of those games that would frustrate me to no end because I'm not a very good video game player.
Well, this Geralt, I think that's how you actually say the name, is interesting the way they put this together because it looks like, I mean, it reminds me of a pop album the way that they actually did this Geralt here.
Do you like it?
I think it looks cool. I feel like if you are a fan of the game, then that's a cool display, basically. If you feel like it's worth the space, basically.
See, I'm trying to think of, you know, a game I would really like and whether I would like a pop like this because I'm not a big fan of the albums. I think they could have done them completely different. I like the idea of it, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I'm into this big oversized box for
I don't,
just a
yeah,
pop.
I don't know if this is gonna be something that's done regularly or not. And I would imagine whenever they do something like this, it probably would end up being with GameStop. But I think it would need to be with something epic. Like if they did this with if they did a Kratos like this and they had some cool artwork behind it, to me that makes sense. If it's
Yeah.
something that really feels epic, then I think it works. I don't think it's something that needs to be done with a lot of different characters. You know.
You know what I would like would be like Super Mario Brothers 3 cover, and instead of just having, you know, like have it all be just like Super Mario Brothers 3, but just don't have Mario artwork in the middle and then just have the actual pop floating in there like how Mario looks on the cover of that. Something like that I would like. I think that's why I don't like these. Like the Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die album. I would have preferred the baby be floating where the baby's supposed to be, and not have the baby on the artwork. You know what I mean? Have the pop complete the art of the album. I think that's the way they should have done it.
Yeah, you just reopened a can of worms. So now every Nintendo comment you can read it. Like I don't even want to read them anymore. You can read all of those and explain to people why there aren't Nintendo Pops because I've done it way too many times.
Funko announced it, guys. Just keep telling Funko in every post that you want. Well, where's Nintendo already?
Mm.
Just kidding.
Now
Don't do that.
now I don't know much Dungeons and Dragons. I do think some of the other pops that have come out look pretty cool, like the Mind Flayer, and some of those things. But yeah, I really don't know much about them. Like I said, the character here on the left, I have no idea who he's about. The Jumbo Pop though, I think is pretty cool, and I kind of had to ask you earlier, what this is all about. So maybe you can explain to people what's going on there.
Okay, so I never played Dungeons and Dragons, but I do have a couple of friends. Well, they were like siblings of ex-girlfriends and stuff that were into Dungeons and Dragons, so I know a little bit about it. Like I think this guy on the left is like some kind of e-boy vampire or something. I think the design on a lot of the Dungeons and Dragons pops are really good. I think as a series they look good. I don't know much about it, but this one on the right I think it's a great idea because I think it's a character that mimics other things. So what they did was basically grab a box for a different pop and have it, be mimicking that. So it's going to be interesting how this looks inside of the actual box it comes in, right? It's going to be, I guess a box that says Mimic on it, or I forget exactly what the character's name is, but I think it's Mimic or a Mimic or something like that. Um, I think it's a really clever idea. And it's almost like the gelatinous cube where even if you don't really know what it is, I kind of want it just because I think it's so clever and so different.
Yeah, I like too that they actually come with a dice as well. I think that's pretty awesome. It does make me wonder with the one on the right though, like how are they going to package that up? Where's the dice going to be with it? Um, yeah, but yeah, it's definitely a cool looking figure and an interesting idea. Like I had to take a moment to kind of process what was going on there, and like I said, I asked you about it. Okay, I just wanted to go ahead and address with Five Nights at Freddy's in general. Somebody said that there hasn't been like actual pops since like either 2019 or 2018, and I took a look at it and I'm like they're right. It has just been plushes and action figures. I don't know. I know some people are curious why that is, but I can't really answer that, why they haven't done an actual full wave of pops in a while. I really don't know what's going on with that. Maybe it's sales. I mean, who knows? Because maybe those action figures and the plushes are doing better than I would assume, and maybe they just don't feel the need to do the pops right now because of sales numbers. I don't know.
Yeah, see, and when this was finally revealed, I was glad. I was like, okay, glad finally Five Nights at Freddy. Maybe next time they can reveal this first, so people can calm down. But yeah, I was expecting to see a lot more people angry that there weren't pops, but people seem to be very excited about the plushies and the action figures. So maybe they like them because they're more accurate that way, and maybe the fandom for Five Nights at Freddy are maybe not pop collectors. So maybe this is what they want. And yeah, I guess these designs do work pretty well as plushies and action figures. But yeah, I don't know much about Five Nights at Freddy. To be honest, they all kind of look the same to me.
Yeah, some of the designs do kind of run together. I think I feel like and I don't know the exact name of the character here, but the Foxy Pirate basically is the most unique looking one, and it mainly is because he is stylized like a pirate, basically. But yeah, the others, they do kind of blend together to me somewhat, to be honest. I kind of feel the same way. But if the fans are happy, at least like you said, maybe they will calm down some. And yeah, because there've been a lot of comments, a lot of spamming on Funko's live streams and things like that. But hopefully the fans are happy with these, that are upcoming.
I wonder too if the fact that they haven't made pops in a while, because yeah, that is a long time. I wonder if it's some kind of thing like where how the Star Wars and the Marvel ones are bobbleheads because another company has like the license to make that size figure or something. So it could be something like that as well.
Yeah, true. And I'm sure I don't feel like it's completely on Funko's shoulders. Yeah, it tends to be licensing things with this. So maybe the creator behind FNAF felt like this is the better way to go. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe because I think if it were up to Funko, they'd definitely be making pops.
Yeah, and I will say though, like sometimes I'm in Walmart and I see the action figures and the plushes, whatever, and they kind of blend in really well with the on the toy aisle. A lot of Funko products have been moved over separate from the toys, to kind of, I guess, really show that these are collectibles. But with FNAF, I think you still kind of want them on that toy aisle. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's part of it as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Next up, Universal Monsters, and I just want to say real quick, I got to go ahead and point it out. Like for a long time, I was used to like every Halloween seeing an exclusive at Walgreens. And when I saw The Bride of Frankenstein, I was like, it feels like it's been a while since I've actually seen that. So just for almost like nostalgia sake at this point from collecting, I feel like I want to go to Walgreens and I want to find The Bride of Frankenstein because
Well,
that's
that
something I
ain't
used to
gonna
do.
happen. That ain't gonna
Yeah.
happen. No, it's not. Maybe you'll get it on the website, but you're not gonna get it at Walgreens. And if you do, you better be an out of box collector because that's gonna be smashed up.
Well, no,
Because
actually, in my area, some Walgreens were actually really on point. Like that's used to be one of the main stores I would go to looking for pops. But it's been a while, though. It's been a good while, so it's going to be interesting to see if they stock these. I will say this though, they might do it where, how they have sort of their seasonal aisle basically, and sometimes
maybe.
they'll have a pop display there, and usually the pops there would be in good condition. So I'm curious to see if that's what's going to happen with these. Maybe they will actually have a Universal Monsters display, as we get closer to Halloween.
Well, I'm just glad that I already have like the original Dracula. And I gotta say, man, it doesn't happen often, but I think the original Dracula looks better than this one with the
I
mouth and the fangs.
yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
And I think my Wolfman that I have, it's kind of a wash. Like I don't think this one is that much of an improvement over that one. And then the Bride of Frankenstein, she kind of looks a little similar, like almost the same. The only thing I really notice about the head is maybe the hair sculpt's a little bit nicer, and then her eyelashes, or not her eyelashes, her eyebrows are a little bit more feminine. And the body's got a little different sculpt, but I got the original glow in the dark one, so I really don't feel the need to update them. I mean, if I was missing one of them, I would get it, but yeah, I don't think these designs are that much better than the originals.
Yeah, I definitely want to see them up close to see, if I think they're worth it. Because yeah, there's some odd details. Yeah, the Dracula is less interesting. The Wolfman, I noticed he has one foot caught in like a bear trap, I guess, or whatever. But I mean, there's no blood there or anything, and he doesn't even seem bothered by it. So that's a bit of
Yeah,
a
right.
odd design choice there. It's almost like he might as well just have an ankle bracelet on or something. But the bride could look cool, like especially if at the bottom, if it's like sometimes when a character has a dress on like that, they just make the whole bottom of it solid. So maybe that'll help her stand well, especially if that hair, which seems like the hair is kind of leaning back some.
True.
So it could be like a tall hair sculpt that's kind of leaning back. Maybe that would help it to stand really well.
And look, man, maybe I just got a dirty mind, but doesn't that backpack look dirty to you? Like it looks like the bride and Frankenstein are having a little fun.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think they really thought that one out too
Or maybe
too
they
well
did.
there. Well, and I've seen them do this style with different characters. Like they did it with some Disney characters where it's multiple characters kind of lined up in that way. But yeah, it's just something about Frankenstein kind of hovering over her and even the expression on her face.
Yeah, and Frankenstein looks like angry. He's like, oh, and
And
she's like,
because you know what? I've never seen the Bride of Frankenstein pictured this way before with that type of expression, so
no.
yeah,
Like
it's
what?
I would not I would not walk around with a backpack like that. I think you'd get some questions pretty much.
I mean, I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, but but yeah, check it out. Coming up with Loungefly. So but it makes me want to kind of go back now and look at some of the other ones they've done in that style and see if they look as awkward as that. It's interesting though, definitely interesting.
Yeah, or if it's always the female character in front there, like do they have one with like Minnie Mouse like smiling and Mickey looking, aggressive?
All right. So I don't really know about Panini and Prism. Like I don't know what this is all about. All I know is that it's trading cards. There are Funko trading cards on the way. I don't know when they're actually going to get like a full reveal and whatnot. But like, are you familiar with this brand here, basically?
So before I get into that, like I saw somebody made a funny comment, dude. Somebody said Funko could barely get cereal right, and now they're gonna try to sell sandwiches. And I thought that was funny because of
Oh,
Panini, right? I was like, dude, that's a good one. You win the
yeah.
internet today. But from the description, at first I thought it was gonna be trading cards, like I guess sports, sports guys in the Funko style, which I guess, right? Like, I guess like I would prefer maybe comic book characters like in trading cards. If it's gonna be in a Funko style, the sports ones seem kind of weird to me. Unless they're gonna do a bunch of sports stars that they haven't done in Funko Pop form. So it's kind of interesting to see what they would look like in Funko Pop form. Like especially because a lot of athletes would probably never get one, or if like they do college sports and stuff like that. I guess it's interesting like that. But from the description, it doesn't even. I can't even tell if it's gonna be sports cards or not.
Yeah, I don't completely understand it. And I mean, even their teasers are so not full of information. Basically, I guess we really are gonna have to wait and see exactly what they plan to do with this. I mean, we can go on and speculate it more, but I guess we just have to wait for the official reveal to see exactly what's going on. But just even the thought of Funko trading cards is kind of odd because it's almost like, I mean, Funko, collecting Funko products within itself is a hobby, and then this is like a hobby within a hobby. It's like hobbyception going on or something. So it'll be interesting to see, once these are revealed and they're available, if they are actually popular.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun for a certain market.
Yeah, but yeah, of course, you know me with being with Funko News and all that. When I learn more about this, of course, I'm going to come back and address it. And who knows, maybe we'll end up addressing it together in the future. Remember, we were talking about Space Ghost, and you said you weren't so sure about the design. What do you think about it now that we actually have the official look at it?
It looks like the chase. It looks a little different. Like before, it just looked like it was orange. But yeah, it's still. Good, but I wanted to get your opinion on it because I know you have seen Trick or Treat.
Yeah, I actually own it, and actually one a viewer and somebody I consider a friend now as well actually sent me a copy of the movie because my first initial look at the movie, I feel like it really wasn't what I expected, and but it's one of those movies I think the more you watch it, the more you appreciate it, and there's a lot of subtle details, and twists and things, but the actual Sand Pop here, it's not exactly what I was expecting in the movie. He does look a little bit more grody, of course, when his mask is off. So I think they went for a more sort of stylized look here, but I'm not mad at it at all. I mean, I think it looks pretty awesome as well. I feel like if you are a fan of this movie and you are a fan of Sam, then this is an easy purchase.
Now, this may be a bad take, but I kind of just like the Universal monsters. I kind of like the original Leatherface better than this one.
I'm with you there as well. The original Leatherface is one of my favorite horror pops. I really love that pop, and this one, I don't know what it is. It just maybe it looks a little bit too clean. I think that's part of the issue. Whereas the
That
original,
maybe the stitching, that big black stitching, looks off to me, and then like the I don't know, there's something about it I just don't like as much.
yeah, to me it looks more like Leatherface cosplay. I think that's the issue with it. It's just a little too clean looking, basically.
I mean, is this based off the original Chainsaw Massacre, or is it based off like one of the sequels or something?
I don't know. It's tough to tell. That franchise has been rebooted so many
Yeah.
times. It's just yeah. So I don't know exactly what their inspiration was, but yeah, there's better Leatherface pops than
Because
this.
that's what it looks like to me. It looks like there's a new Chainsaw Massacre movie coming out, and this is like a character from like a new remake, not from. It does not look to me like Leatherface from the original 1970s one.
Who knows? Maybe there is another one. Wait, but I mean, it's the franchise, like the numbered franchise, even within those numbers, felt like there was a reboot at some point. You might as well say because it was so different from the originals. And then of course you had the Michael Bay movies as well. So I don't know what's going on with that franchise, but yeah, I'll just say if you are a horror fan and you're a fan of Leatherface, do a search and see what Funko Pops are available because if you don't have a Leatherface in your collection yet, this may not be the greatest one to go with.
Yeah, even the one like the Matthew McConaughey, the one with Matthew McConaughey movie, with the lipstick and stuff. I even think that one's better than this one.
Yeah, and I'll say the like the Lady Killer Leatherface that I think was a Hot Topic exclusive, and then it had a glow in the dark chase. I want to say or either is a glow in the dark chase or a bloody chase, whatever it was. But that one's way better than this.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Now, something curious about this Pennywise Loungefly backpack. I guess it's a Walmart exclusive. I wonder if it's going to be less expensive than a typical Loungefly backpack because it does not look like it has the same kind of detail and quality as like a straight up Loungefly backpack. This looks cheaper to me.
Is it Loungefly? Because I feel like Funko makes some products directly, and then there's some Loungefly stuff. So I don't know if this actually is Loungefly.
I think it is because I think
It
on their
is.
post on top, because I thought the same thing too. I'm like, oh, is this not a Loungefly backpack? But on the post, I think they hashtag Loungefly.
Well, if in that case, well, it feels like. I mean, just to be honest about it, it feels like when it's something that's going to be at Walmart or maybe even Target, that not as much effort into the design, basically. Because I mean, you look at it, it's just Pennywise over and over and over again.
Well, that's why I mean. That's why I mean. Like, I think the price point for something like this should be like $29.99 instead of like the $60 that
Yeah,
a
well, yeah,
normal
it is
backpack would
cheaper.
cost.
Yeah, when these
Yeah.
things are at Walmart, I think they are cheaper. Yeah.
So maybe that's why they didn't go with like, because if it was like regular Loungefly, it'd have like another piece with the balloon coming out or Pennywise head or, flaps and things. This just looks like a normal backpack.
Yeah, I will say I do like the pin set. I think the pin set is actually pretty cool. It and I don't really buy too many pins myself because I'm bad about displaying them. I usually just have pins like sitting off to the side forever before I finally find some way to display them. But I think it's a pretty cool pin set, even though it's a little bit odd that they put in the Tim Curry Pennywise just one of him, and I feel like that pose we've seen a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe it looks pretty. Maybe this is a cool looking set up close though.
Yeah, I like them too. The one I don't like is the one with the hair. Um, I've always thought that pop and that design. I understand it's from the movie and everything, but I've never really liked that one. I do like the Pennywise with the balloon though. That one's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the Pennywise with hair, that I never even bothered to get that pop. I thought about going for it to be somewhat of a completionist, but I decided to pass on it. I felt like it was a cool trailer moment, and beyond that, like just let it go. Like it was a cool
Yeah.
trailer moment mainly. All right, so kind of to wrap things up here, well, for one, let's start off with the Cheshire Cat here. What do you think about this design?
So I really like it. It's not that much different than the common, but what I do like is that it's glow in the dark, which is perfect for Cheshire Cat. Makes sense because his mouth glows like a moon. Um, but what I like that they did was make the eyes yellow, where sometimes the glow in the dark pops don't look different than the commons.
Yeah. That now that I think about it, haven't there been like a lot of Cheshire Cat pops?
There have been, but I like this design with them balancing on the tail.
Yeah, it really does represent the character well. It'd be interesting to kind of compare this one to the other ones that have been out before because not only do you have the ones based off the animation, you also have the ones that were based off of those live action Alice in Wonderland movies as well. So if you're a Cheshire Cat fan, you should be able to find something you like. That's really what it comes down to because there's so many of them now at this point. I will say that I went to look this up out of curiosity on BAM's website, and something really weird was going on with their website today. I don't know if it's because there was a lot of activity or what, but it's like their website didn't really want to load up. So I was hoping to get a better look at this one, but I don't think it's going to be difficult to get if anybody is really interested in it, though,
Well,
ultimately.
it took me over like an hour to try to get this thing because I think it was one of those classic small website can't handle the traffic kind of deal.
Yeah, and they need to update at some point because they've had so many issues in the past. I won't even go off about it, but if you've been collecting for a couple of years, you know that BAM's website has had some issues in the past. Same thing with Barnes and Noble as well. They've had some issues.
So what do
All
you
right,
think about these office pops?
I think these are pretty awesome. I just happened to come across the Michael Scott one. Like I was actually trying to find the Corpse Bride, the Emily Soda figure, and then I saw right on their front page that they had Michael Scott with the golden ticket. I was like, oh, like I didn't even realize that this had been revealed yet. But I love it. That was such a funny episode. Did you seen that episode, right?
I've seen yeah, I've seen all the episodes once. I don't remember them all because I'm not a big Office fan. I did watch the series just because everybody I know has seen it, so I was like, I might as well watch it. Some funny moments, everything. But yeah, I'm not a big fan, so I don't remember everything. What I do like about this though is that yeah, these are some characters we've already gotten before. Except for what's his name, Oscar on the bottom left. Is that his name?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
Oscar.
like that they made a new. He is a new character, right? They haven't made him before.
There is another Oscar.
Oh, okay.
It's with Walmart, and I don't think it's actually released yet. It was
Okay.
weird. Like
Well, I
they
was
put a
gonna say
couple
that.
of They put a couple of characters at Walmart exclusively, and they haven't released just yet because they also have Phyllis, and then they have Ryan the Temp. They actually got two versions of him.
Okay, because I was gonna say like yeah, even though they've made these characters, I like that they're pretty different. Um, you
Yeah.
know, completely new sculpts and ideas and fun moments from the show. I do like that.
And if you're a fan of the series, I mean, some great references here. Of course, again, Michael with the golden ticket. I love that Oscar is holding that little it's almost like a puppet type thing. It's something that Michael gave to him in his final full episode, basically. And I just love it because he acts like he put effort into that puppet or whatever. And it's just he knows that Oscar doesn't really respect him. And Oscar was acting like it was a great gift, because he thinks Michael's so dumb. But it was a great way to wrap up their relationship. I thought it was brilliant. And I love the reference here too with Dwight with the blowtorch. It's a reference to one of the best cold openers in the series. Like it had me dying laughing, and it was basically him preparing for a fire drill, but it was a fire drill that was just not fair the way that he did it. Like
Yeah, I remember. I actually do remember that one. It's pretty funny.
that, and as a matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna have to watch that scene again after this recording because I love it so much. It's a great cold opening, but yeah, love that reference, and that's a Target exclusive. Of course, is available for people to go ahead and pre-order. I didn't pre-order it myself, but I don't know. I'm still kind of debating on which figures based on the Office I want to add to my collection. I don't think I'm so interested in the Halloween ones, the direct Halloween ones just yet, but yeah, I'm still kind of debating that out.
So, out of everything that was showed today, if you could only pick one thing, what was your favorite release?
Um, Maybe it's kind of lame to some people, but hey, I got to go with the Corpse Bride, the Emily Soda. Yeah, I like I said, I've grown more and more of a fan of that movie, and whether I get the chase or not, I just think it's a good looking soda. As a fan of the movie and a fan of that character, yeah, I'm gonna be pretty happy with that. But there was some other stuff. I was wondering if things were gonna kind of fizzle out this week, but there was some other stuff that was pretty cool. The Sand Pop was pretty awesome, and the Mandy Pops are growing on me more and more. And I'm gonna be glad to see when those finally arrive. So yeah, I think it was a pretty solid way to wrap up the week. What
Yeah, and
about you?
I think for me the most eye-catching one is the alien from They Live. But I'm liking these Mandy Pops even without seeing the movie. I'm actually looking forward to seeing it tonight.
Yeah, and definitely share your reactions with me, dude. Let me know what you think about it. And yeah, I don't want to say too much more about it, but yeah, you're gonna see that there's potential for more pops based off the movie.
All right, guys, let us know in the comments below what your favorite releases for Funkoween were. You like to say anything else, Franklin?
Yeah, I'll just say, if you haven't checked out the other episodes, please do, and support them, of course, and we have gotten a lot of support throughout the week. There's been some really kind comments. Like I've been almost shocked, exactly, actually by how hyped some people were to check out these podcasts and the positive responses we got. It doesn't go unnoticed, guys. We really do appreciate that.
Yeah, that is really nice of you.
All right, y'all. Take care.
Cheshire Cat,